We are getting these live aerial shots coming from Los Angeles. It looks as though a rescue operation is underway, and we have now joining the show Fox 11 Los Angeles' Stu Mundell, who is in a helicopter overlooking this scene right here. Stu, can you explain to us exactly what's taking place?
I would love to, Rain, and thank you for taking us this morning. This is in the Long Beach area, and this is it's a big rig that overturned trying to get off the off-ramp. This is going to be in the Long Beach area, actually at Pacific Coast Highway off the 710 freeway. Now that you can clearly see that big rig not being able to make that turn and basically rolled over on its side. Long Beach Fire Department, they came out here on scene, and they've basically been trying to get that driver out. A lot of times we'll see these big rigs when they do these rollovers, the driver will actually self-extricate, meaning he'll pop out that windshield, climb out on his own, but you can kind of see in the picture that cab is kind of rolled over, kind of crunched, and when it slid on its side, that cab just kind of rolling with that with the inertia, trapping that driver in there. Now, Long Beach Fire Department, they came out here and they came out well equipped. They actually brought out one of their heavy equipment trucks right there. You can see it. That's Urban Search and Rescue. But that vehicle has a lot of tools in there, and that's what they need today. We've been watching as they've been using the jaws of life and other tools to cut that cab away, trying to get to that driver. We do know that driver is alive. We also know paramedics are here on scene, and they've been administrating whatever they need to keep that driver alive and healthy while they're pulling this truck apart. It has been an arduous task for sure. They've cut that door open. They're using a tool right there to spread some of that truck. Right now, that driver's still alive in there, but these firefighters working desperately to cut him out of this vehicle. Rain, I wish I could hear you, but I actually just lost the IFB, so I can't hear any questions. But this is happening in the Long Beach area off the 710 freeway. That driver's still alive. Firefighters doing what they can to get this driver out of that wreckage right now and get him to the hospital and whatever medical aid he needs. But it is quite a task for them. As you can see, this isn't one of your usual pop the door open or just get that driver, help that driver out. This driver wedged in there, smashed in there with trapped inside that cab, metal holding him in there right now, and these firefighters working to cut that vehicle apart, get that driver out safely, and not create more injuries to him.
Live TV. Stu, if you can hear me, just chime in whenever you hear my voice here. But I did see them as well using the jaws of life to rescue this driver. And I can also tell that traffic is closed off in surrounding areas. Do you have more information on how traffic is impacting local drivers? All right, it looks as though
I can hear you asking about the local drivers, and also we're working on several places right now. But as far as the drive itself on the 710 today, the off ramp has been taken away. You can see that, but the 710 at this portion always really slow and go. But right now that off ramp is closed while they're working to get that driver out. As far as impacting the drive for drivers, it's probably. It's just a few folks that use this off ramp, so right now they'll just make their way down to the next one and continue on their drive. The real concern is that saving the life of that driver inside this big rig right now.
Minimum impact. Well, I will say it's obviously great news that we don't see any smoke or flames following such a severe crash like this.
You know, like I said, the IFB is a little sketchy. And but I did hear you saying that the life-saving, what they're doing is the most important is to save the life of that driver. These Long Beach firefighters are out here right now. Their paramedics are working with some of them. You've got the other firefighters actually cutting this rig apart, working to figure out how they can get that driver out safely. Clearly, he is injured, but right now it is just it's kind of like. Some folks will watch this and they'll say, "Oh, just cut it apart and get this guy out." It's not that simple. They don't know they know what they're cutting, and they don't want to cut into it in a way where it's going to create more injury for that driver. Right now, their life-saving efforts are what's the most important. And again, this is still going on in the Long Beach area. This driver's been trapped for about 30 minutes, maybe more.
All right, Fox 11, Stu Mundell, thank you so much for joining us live here on Live Now from Fox. That's what we do here. We tap into our news coverage with our partners across the country. So again, courtesy of Fox 11 Los Angeles, we are able to bring you all these aerial shots, bringing you this breaking news situation as it unfolds, raw, live, and unfiltered. We are witnessing a life-saving operations. Emergency crews are on the scene of an overturned 18-wheeler where you can see firefighters and other rescue crews are using the jaws of life and other life-saving tools to get this driver out of this overturned 18-wheeler. It's a good thing that we don't see any flames, we don't see any smoke, and as of our latest report, the driver trapped inside this 18-wheeler is still alive. So again, we are witnessing a life-saving rescue operation, live, raw, and unfiltered. We will definitely stay in touch with our Fox 11 LA news partners as this continues to unfold. It has been about 30 minutes or so since this crash took place, and that driver still stuck inside. Emergency crews doing everything that they can to safely remove this driver from this overturned 18-wheeler.